What is going on, everybody, and welcome to a brand new video on my channel. Today is day number 1 of releasing a video every single day until the end of the year, until the end of 2021. From August 16th to December 31st, I'm uploading at least 1 video per day. You might have the off day or 2 where I upload 2 videos, but there will not be a day where I upload 0 videos. At least that's the goal. And I've got 2 questions for you guys to kick off this grind of videos every single day. Is 1, what time of the day should I upload every single day? Because once we get that set, I'm going to upload at that time every single day. We're going to keep it consistent. And then question number 2 is, what kind of videos do you want to see up until FIFA 22 releases? Because once FIFA 22 releases, it's kind of self-explanatory. We've got a bunch of content to make. We've got the Trading to Glory series. We've got squad building challenge guides. We've got so much to cover. But until then, we've got a lot of time to fill. And today, I'm going to be bringing the biggest downgrades that we expect in FIFA 22 Ultimate Team. And no, I'm not covering a bronze card that went from 63 rated to 48 rated. No, nobody cares, all right? These are players that we all know. We all have seen them in FIFA after FIFA after FIFA. And they're relevant to either playing in the game, they're relevant to World Football, or they're relevant to SBCs in some sort of way. So let's hop right into that. The first card that we've got on the list is David Silva, who is going to get, I think, a -3 on his card. Now, everybody's going to have their own opinions on this, and this is fine. Guys, if you disagree with anything, let me know in the comments that say, hey, you got this one wrong. But David Silva, I think there's no denying that he's probably going to get a downgrade. It's just how much he's going to get downgraded. Will it be a -2? Will it be a -3? I think it's probably going to be one of those two. I can't imagine he stays at 86 rated, though, because this year, he only played in about 20 matches, all right? He only had 2 goals, 5 assists, which I can't say is terrible, but it's definitely not enough to hold an 86 rated card stature. So he's going to get a downgrade, and I think 83 is probably what we're going to see. And the card, although he's got good passing and good dribbling, depending on the meta that we see for FIFA 22, not going to be very usable with 63 pace, 52 physicality, 71 shooting. You can't really use him going forward. You can't really use him on defense. You kind of just got to use him to dribble at center mid, and realistically there's going to be a lot better options that you can use at that position. Next up, we've got Samuel Umtiti from Barcelona, another player in La Liga, and a lot of these players in this episode are in La Liga. You saw Barcelona and Real Madrid both kind of struggled last year, and some of those guys were the highest rated players in the game. So obviously they're not going to hold on to their rating, but Umtiti was only 83 rated, and I can't say he had a good year. We're expecting probably a -3 on his card. A few people on Twitter were telling me I expect him to be a non-rare card. I don't know what they're going to do in terms of rare and non-rare, but his card's not going to be very usable anymore. I mean, it might be usable for some of the Hybrid Nation SBCs because he's French and he's in La Liga. I don't know. But realistically, what's this card going to be used for? Not much anymore. Next up, we've got one of the highest rated players from FIFA 21, and that was Sadio Mane. He was 90 rated. And you don't see too many players in FIFA that are 90 plus rated. And you definitely don't see too many players that hold that 90 plus rating for several years. That's why you only see Messi or Ronaldo, maybe Neymar, maybe Neuer. He had it for a few years. And then right now, Lewandowski as well. You've got to be competing at least to try to get into probably the World 11, or maybe even competing for Ballon d'Or to be a 90 plus rated year after year after year. And unfortunately, Sadio Mane, who didn't have a bad year, didn't necessarily have a great year. And that's kind of what you need to stay 90 rated. So I think he's going to get a slight downgrade. Still going to be an awesome card. Still deserves an awesome card with great pace. He's got great dribbling. He's got good shooting, okay physicality, okay passing, but definitely a good card nonetheless. Next up, we've got Eden Hazard. 86 rated, getting that downgrade from 88 to 86. He's obviously struggled with injuries. He's obviously struggled to settle in at his new club, Real Madrid, and I don't think he's going to stay at 88 rated. But still, this card isn't terrible. Now, with 86 pace, eventually he's going to probably be phased out of the game, but that's going to take months. At 86 rated, I think this card is still very, very usable, at least until Team of the Year. So we're going to see a pretty hefty price tag on him, at least at the start of the game. And we'll see if he can kind of settle in and get some upgrades with Real Madrid to make his card even better, because after an upgrade or two, he's going to have really good shooting as well as over 90 pace. So that would really be what takes his card to the next level, and that's what I'm hoping for this year with Hazard. He's obviously a world-class player who has struggled with injuries, struggled with fitness, so we'll see if he can get back on track this year. Paulo Dybala was one of the biggest young stars, especially back when he was leaving Palermo a few years back, and even a couple years for Juventus. He was playing over 30 matches a season. He was getting into double digits in terms of goals and almost assists as well. And the last year, not so much. He's kind of being taken out of the Juventus system. He only played in about half of the matches. He only had 7 total goal contributions all year, and he was 88 rated in FIFA 21. You just can't expect him to stay 88 rated. I think 85 is probably going to be what we see for Dybala. Maybe 86 if EA aren't as harsh. You definitely see EA are a little bit more harsh to the old players. Once you hit 30 years old, you're getting a big downgrade after a bad year. Dybala's still not old, all right? He's got a lot of his career left. So you could definitely argue that he might stay at like 86 or 87, especially if EA are generous, but I don't think you can make the argument that he stays at 88. Next up, we've got Miralem Pjanic, who I think is going to get a -3 downgrade on his 85 from FIFA 21. Obviously, his move from Juventus to Barcelona hasn't really worked out for him as an individual, and Barcelona haven't been doing too hot themselves as a team either, which definitely doesn't help his case. I think a -3 is definitely fair, and EA already have him listed as an 82 in their career mode system, so I definitely could see him going down to 82. This is one of the ones I'm more confident in. A little bit less controversial as well. I don't even think Barcelona fans are really going to argue this downgrade. His card's not going to be very great either. It's one of those cards where dribbling and passing are the main stats, just like David Silva. And when you have those two as the main stats, it doesn't translate well to FIFA. Sure, those might be some of the most important aspects of somebody's game in real life, but let's be real, this is a video game that doesn't really translate well. So these stats are less important than stats like pace, like shooting and physicality. It's just how it always has been and probably will be for FIFA 22 as well. Next up, we've got Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. His pace downgrade is the one that hurts the most, going from 93 to 90 pace. Again, struggling as an individual and struggling as a team with Arsenal. So that is why he's going to get a -3 downgrade. But this is one of the most evident and impactful cards in terms of Weekend League. We see Aubameyang all the time, especially at the beginning of the year. And I don't think it's going to be much different this year. 84 rated with 90 pace, 84 shooting, and 79 dribbling. That's definitely good enough to hold some sort of price tag. That's definitely good enough to be in a lot of Weekend League teams. So I'm expecting Aubameyang to still be one of those premier starter cards if you can afford them. But with those stats comes a lot of price early in the game. It's one of those cards that you want to pick up really early on day one, let them skyrocket immediately, and then take that profit. So Aubameyang, I think, is going to get a deserved downgrade. As much as I love him, obviously a former Dortmund player, still got a soft spot for him. Definitely deserves a downgrade. Next up, we've got another center back from Barcelona, another French center back from Barcelona. Now this one's a little bit harsh because Lenglet did play a ton more than Umtiti did. He's obviously more of a staple of the Barcelona defense by a long shot than Umtiti. I just don't think he's been playing all that amazing. And to have him as an 85 rated center back in the game, I thought was a little bit high, and EA's career mode system also agreed with that. And this is what he's currently at in FIFA in career mode. So if you disagree with the downgrade, don't fully blame me, all right? I'm just the messenger. Getting a -2 down to 83 rated. The card actually still pretty usable. I think that's a decent starter card. You definitely like starter cards to be a little bit lower rated to make them a little cheaper. But 73 pace, 84 defense, and 79 physicality is usable. Albeit for just a few weeks, but usable nonetheless before it kind of gets outdated and he'll need some upgrades. I know this might be getting repetitive, but yes, it's another Barcelona player. But this one's not even Barcelona's fault at all. He hasn't stepped on the pitch yet for Barcelona. He barely played at all at Manchester City and barely played at all for Argentina. You can't deny Sergio Aguero has had one of the most amazing careers. What a player. You just can't say the same for the past year, okay? He's had like 4 or 5 goal contributions in all competitions. That includes his international play. He's done nothing, okay? And he was 89 rated, which is a very high rating. All right, this is not to diss Aguero at all, but I think he's going to get the biggest downgrade of this episode. A lot of people on Twitter were saying 83 or 84. Now, here's the thing. I kind of get it. We saw between FIFA 14 and FIFA 15, Di Natale went from 85 rated all the way down to, I believe it was 77 or 78 rated. And that was after he had a pretty solid year with Udinese, and he got 3 different inform cards in that game. EA were even telling us, hey, we think he's doing great. And then they downgraded him by 7 ratings. So when strikers get older, they show no mercy on their rating, which is why I think it's possible for some of those guys on Twitter to say, hey, 83, 84. I think that's a little harsh. I think 85 is even a little harsh, because if you guys have seen one of my last 2 videos that I've uploaded on the channel, I actually had Aguero at 86 in that rating prediction because I thought he was going to get a -3. But after people brought up some different arguments on how these older strikers get downgraded, yeah, I thought, okay, 85 is fair. So I threw 85 in here. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. He's already gotten injured for Barcelona, so he's probably not going to see the field for another few weeks minimum, which doesn't help his case. But let me know if you guys disagree with anything in this video. Drop it down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of today's video. If you made it to the end of the video, go ahead and comment down below what is one player that you think is going to get the biggest upgrade in the next FIFA. You don't have to say, I think he'll get the biggest upgrade. You can be discreet about it and just throw the name out there, you know? Maybe just be like Erling Haaland, because that is the correct answer, right? No, I'm just kidding, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in tomorrow's video, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day.